fundamental principle of crypto is the ability to send and receive payments without the need for any middlemen. When you open and use Decrediton, you do so safe in the knowledge that you are controlling your funds and no one is sat in the middle extracting additional fees for arbitrary services. To make a transaction safe and secure, it goes through several stages. In the first stage, the transaction gets entered into the mempool for sorting and verifying. In the second stage, the transaction gets mined and then awaits for approval. Next, the block gets approved and your transaction receives its first block confirmation. Once a transaction reaches 5 confirmations, it becomes irreversible on the Decred blockchain due to the chain lock rule. In terms of what the user receiving the funds will see, whilst in the mempool, the transaction will be in a pending state, and depending on the wallet that they're using, the transaction will become spendable after 1 or 2 block confirmations. For mobile wallets, it's normally 2 confirmations. In the following example, I'm going to use Decrediton to send and receive transactions to the Trust mobile wallet. So to get started, let's open up Decrediton. So heading over to the Launchpad, click on Decrediton, and we are in SPV mode. So you should see it loads really quickly, within seconds actually. So you don't have to go through any of the config that we went through last time. So here's our testing account. And from here, once again, you can create another wallet. So you can have multiple wallets on this one Decrediton install, like I said before, or you can restore more wallets. It's completely up to you, and you can also edit them. But let's just open it. There you go. So, like I said before, this is our overview page, and we're just going to work through the tabs on the left-hand side. So, in this video, we're just going to look at doing some on-chain transactions. So if we click on the on-chain transaction area, we get all of our options. So the first option we have is the send, then we have receive, then we have history, and then we have export. So because I don't think we've got any money in this one, no, we're completely empty. So we are going to have to receive some money. So if we just head on over to the receive area, so now we've got the area ready. What we can do is if we press on this little icon here, this little minus icon, it brings up the camera. And then over on Decrediton, if I click on the QR code, it brings up a nice big QR code. So if I just click on this, or just point my camera towards it, it then copies the address down. And then all I'll do is I'll put 0.1. So we're sending about £1, just over £1. Then I'll press done. And then I'll press next. And then just have a quick check, just make sure. So we're sending about £2 over, so 0.1 DCR. And then if we press the confirm button, it will start that transaction. Now over on Decrediton, if we just close this, you'll see that we've now just received a confirmation. Now on Decrediton, it does take literally, as soon as it goes in the mempool, you will get that confirmation. If we click on it here, you can see it's still pending. So at the moment, it's still in the mempool. If we click on the actual transaction itself, it will open up, in my case Safari, but whatever your default browser is, and it will show you exactly the process or the progress that's being made. So at the moment it's in the mempool, so we just have to wait just a little bit longer, just until the first block is mined. So whilst it's in pending state, you can head on back to the overview section to actually just see how this is all looking. And once again, if you want to check on its progress, you just click on the transaction itself, and you've also got a back button here which will take you back to the previous page, the overview page. So if we click into the transaction on the Trust wallet, it does tell us how much that's just cost. That's cost us 2,540 atoms, which is a fraction of a penny. And if we head back to transaction, it's been mined and it's just awaiting approval. So we just need one more block to get that first confirmation in. And there we go, there's the first confirmation. Mobile wallets do tend to take 2 confirmations, so we just hang on for one more confirmation and then we should see it update on the Trust wallet. Now the Trust wallet, if you're not sure if it's confirmed, what you can do is come out and go back to the main page and just refresh the page, and it normally tells you if it's confirmed. And there you go, it looks like it's all done to status is complete. So it didn't update automatically, but it is now completed. So that only took one confirmation that way, which is really cool. So let's just head back over to the overview page and let's just do it the other way. So the Trust wallet, because it's a mobile app, makes it really simple. You get the QR code, you take a picture of it, and you're in. Now, when you're doing it the other way, so when you're doing an on-chain transaction the other way, you actually don't get the QR code within Decrediton. So you actually have to paste in the address. So the person using the Trust wallet can just send you over the address, and you say, right, I'm going to send this. Say, right, how much am I going to send? I'm going to send 0.05 this time, and the address I'm going to send it to, I'm just going to paste in the address from my Trust wallet. Now this has just come through as in the Trust wallet, you actually get options to send it as a text message or as an email, so it's really quite cool. So let me just show you that quickly if you haven't done this before. So when you click on the Decred wallet and you say I want to receive, you actually get these options, and if you click on the button that says share, you actually get the options to send it as an email or send it as a text message, which is really useful. So once again, they don't have the QR code for sending. So once we put this in, we've got our value in, and then all we're going to do is press send, and then I just have to enter my password just to confirm the send. And once we've done that, we just press continue. You do get this little warning just to make sure you're happy that the amount that you're going to send, so you can see the total amount you're going to send plus the fee. The mining fee gets added on this end as well, so 2,530 atoms gets added on the sender's end. And then if you're happy with that, you can just press accept. And it is important to note that it is the sender that actually pays the mining fee, not the person receiving. Okay, so here it is. It's just entered into the mempool. We'll just let that notification complete. Then we'll head back over to the overview page, and we can see it's in pending. And then all the time it's in the mempool, it will say pending. So we'll just wait for our 2 confirmations, and then we'll go from there. And hopefully in 2 confirmations, we'll see it turn up on our Trust wallet. Whilst we're on the transaction page, we do have 2 options here. So the option first is to abandon the transaction and then rebroadcast it. And all the time it's in the mempool, the transaction is in the mempool, those 2 options will be available. Once it enters the mempool, they will disappear. So if you want to abandon it, so you've sent too much, you do have a little bit of leeway that you can do that. And also if you want to rebroadcast it because it's not getting into the mempool, you can also do that. So that's quite handy to have. Once again, once it's out of the mempool, once it's been mined, you no longer have that action. It's no longer reversible. Okay, so there's the first one. Okay, after a quick refresh, that transaction has now come through. So it's just slightly later than the 1 confirmation, but not quite 2. So let's just have a look. So if we click the back button, we'll notice that both of our transactions that we've sent today have cleared and everything's good there. If we head back on over to the on-chain transactions, so we've looked at the send, we've looked at the receive. There are some extra options under send. So if you have multiple accounts, you can send all funds from selected account. You can also send funds from another account. So your accounts, you can actually have multiple accounts inside of a wallet, and I'll show you how to set them up in the next video. But from this drop down, you actually can see all of your different accounts, which is really useful. Under the receive, we also can change our accounts here as well. So if you have multiple accounts, you can actually click on that button and actually change your account there as well. You can generate new addresses. So another good thing about Decrediton is every time you send or receive a payment, you actually send it from a brand new address, which is really useful. So by clicking the generate new address, you can actually just quickly generate one, but every time you send a transaction, it will go from a new address. And then if you want to copy the address, you can press the copy button. And if you want to see the QR code for the address, you can see that. So if you want to take a photo of it, or if you want to send the address by email or something, or by text message, you can actually send that. So you should be giving your receive address when you want to receive payments, obviously, and then you should be putting other people's receive address in here when you want to send a payment. The next thing then is the history. So every transaction you make will turn up in the history, and this information is gathered from all the blocks that have been downloaded. And then finally, you can export your data. And you've got a few different kind of export types. So if you just want to export the transactions, you can do that. If you want your daily balances, vote time, tickets, any of the data that Decrediton can collect, you can actually send that, and then you can choose a destination of where you want to send it. And if you click on the search button, it will open up a file window, so you can actually choose where you want to save that information, whether that's on your desktop or in a specific area. So that's pretty much all I want to show you for the on-chain transactions. As you can see, it's quite in depth and there's actually quite a lot of information there. Decrediton is very, very comprehensive, so that's just one kind of example of what it can do. So before we close out this video, I just want to show you how to properly close your wallet. So down here on the left hand side, you get this little settings button. If you click on this, and then if you head on up to the close wallet, just click on this and then confirm that you want to close this wallet, and then that's closed the wallet. And then to close the link to the network, you just close Decrediton here